Good evening and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome to me looking nervously at the microphone input, suddenly realizing I hadn't tested it, but it's working, which is all good. 2 streams in one day. What on earth have you done to have me inflict this on you? Well, I just we did the TBM stream earlier, and I just got that itch to do some HEMS stuff, so I thought, why the hell not? Actually, I think all it took was seeing a helicopter on TV, and then that's it. The thoughts in my mind. The more observant amongst you will notice that Duxford, our old squadron dog, has gone. He's retired, and this chap came with us back from Alaska, and he is yet to be named. Actually, realistically, I just literally loaded him in about 20 minutes ago. Thought it was time for a change, so I have to think of a good name for him, but he seemed quite fitting to for the kind of work that we do sometimes. But anyway, here we are at it's working. We're at RAF Lossiemouth. If you want to come along and join, you won't be able to see the mission assets and that kind of stuff, but who knows where we're going to end up. Who knows how long this is going to go on for. Let's face it, who knows how long this could go on for. It could be a long night. We will see. But anyway, we're starting off here at Lossiemouth, and this is going to kind of be our area of operations. So it'll be interesting to see where it takes us. My sim has been doing some funny things. I did some testing on some scenery the other day, which meant moving everything out of my community folder. And then I put everything back into my community folder, and I think, yeah, everything's going to be absolutely fine. And what I didn't realize was that anything that was Orbex, for some reason, had the contents of the folders hadn't gone back in. So I had a nasty shock earlier. If you watched the TBM stream where we went to Dublin, my Dublin airport scenery wasn't there, which has caused a few problems. I only realized afterwards that the Dublin scenery wasn't there. So hoping everything's going to be all right tonight. Of course it will. What could possibly go wrong? I'm just thinking, Inverness is in Marketplace, so that's going to be fine. Rob, just get on with it. Shut up. Okay, so what are we doing? We are doing... There we go. That's working, isn't it? Look at that. A cockpit. There we go. That's better. Quick catch up with the chat. Binky, how you doing? Yes, I do wonder what heinous calamity. What kind of injury will people have done to themselves? Is our co-pilot? Shouldn't actually be here yet, mate. You're meant to be loading in, but we'll see that in a minute. Kyle, hello. How you doing? I wonder if Newcastle upon Tyne looks good in this game. Yeah, it does. It does. I've got the airport anyway. But I've only been to Newcastle a few times, but it looks pretty good to me. Kratai, how you doing? Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how quickly you can travel back. But we're in the north of Scotland now. By the way, oh no, I won't bore you with it. Okay, so let's just get it down to what we're actually going to be using here. Oh, here we go. So this is the High Performance Group H145 helicopter with the High Performance Group action pack for the H145, and that's what gives us the ability to fly HEMS and run missions. On top of that, we have got the incredible Random and Anywhere. Now, it's called Random and Anywhere on the flightsim.to page. It's called Random and everywhere else, which gets a bit confusing, but it's a mod by Davierosoft that hugely expands the missions to the point where you can either do random, which is what we're going to do tonight, or you can customize different aspects of it. I mean, it's incredibly complex, but also at the same time it can be really simple, which is what we're going to do tonight. We're just going to chill out and see what happens. But Andrew, who is Davierosoft, is a real-world Airbus helicopter flying instructor. He's got an incredible eye for detail, and this mod is just incredible. If you have not seen it before, then hopefully I will do it justice, and you're in for a bit of a treat, and you'll see what it's all about. Okay, Akratai, I've just seen your message. I will. Okay, I will. I don't know. You might have caught it. I was just going to explain what happened at Dublin. You remember the issue at Dublin with the runway exit and that kind of stuff. I don't know if you heard it when I was waffling about it a few minutes ago, but that's all it was about. Because yeah, pretty dumbass thing of me to do. Okay, so we got any questions? Any questions? No? Okay. So let's just do a couple of quick checks. Yeah, physical controllers are working. That's good. So controllers, I have got a Warthog grip on a 15 centimeter extension to a Virpil Warbird base. Pedals, I've got the Thrustmaster TPR pedals with the damper, and then I've got the Virpil TCS Rotor Plus Collective with a Hawk 60 grip. People sometimes ask the hardware. That's the only reason I mention that. Okay, so let's get things going. So first of all, we need to get the mission up and running. So to do that, we go to Maps and Misiones. I don't know why I said it like that. Come on. There we go. Random and everywhere. And we're going to use the test build. Still giving that a try, and you can see it's starting to move along here. And then when it gets to a certain point, we can start firing up. There's Frank. You're right, Frank. Now you see the crew's disappeared, but they are going to appear from somewhere momentarily, aren't they? Where are you, lads? Come on. Okay. Oh, have I got to press single player? Probably got to press single player. So I'm just going to reduce that range down slightly, and we will. Yeah, that'll do. Right, single player. Now we can get the battery on. And we'll get the precision anti-collision lights on because we're going to start whirring things around. Still looking for my crew. They must be finishing off their tea and bacon buddies. Let's do that. Let's get the mission radio on. So this is what connects us to the, I guess, rescue centre, air ambulance centre.
Hey, good morning all. Ready for the mission?
Okay, where are they? Where are they? There they are. They're coming in a different direction. What are you doing over there? You meant to come from the other direction. Come on, you lot. Get on board. Here we go. Here's old Happy. Oh, I nearly said something then. There he is next to us. Okay, so that's now saying
fuel tanks are almost full.
Push call to collect. So we press that button there.
Please ask.
We're okay for fuel, but thank
you, Frank.
So we're now connected, and we just wait for our first mission. So obviously, you know what we would actually be doing if this was real is we'd be sitting in the hut waiting for the shout, but we start it in this from the helicopter, and everyone is getting on board. Equite. Oh, you caught the tail end of it. Yeah, it was just I'd been moving my community folder around, doing some scenery testing, and when I put it back in the MSFS 2024 folder, all my Orbeck stuff had gone, including my Dublin, which is why it all went wrong and why it looked rubbish and why the exits were wrong. Right, a person has fallen from a ladder in the garden. Well, that's very silly. Medical assistance is required. Of course, the RAF is here to help.
Cabin preparations, please wait.
Okay. Right, you ready, matey? So now he is going to... Oh, there we go. He's going to jump out. So, I can't remember what I did last time. I always say that. But let's go 1 and 2.
Preparing for engine starting sequence. 1, 2.
Out you get. Right, let's quick check the numbers. Battery is good, so we're okay with that. And everything else is looking fine. This is all good. We would expect to see a load of stuff on there, so we can acknowledge that.
Area clear. Ready to start engine 1.
Okay. By the way, important in the chat, if the engine sounds get too loud or you can't hear me, then do give me a shout in the chat and then I can adjust things. Chris Homewood flying in Republic of Ireland. That must have been lovely.
GPU disconnected. Ready to go. Good day.
Thank you, Frank. There goes Frank. Off with the GPU. Oh, there's our squadron dog. I need to get rid of him, actually, in the nicest possible way.
Cabin checks finished. We're set to go.
There we go. So, again, if you've seen this before, if you use it, then you know all this stuff anyway, but I'm just saying it for anyone who hasn't seen it before.
Engine clear.
As time goes on, we get more information. It simulates the time of an emergency occurring. So we've got N1 rising, TOT rising, just checking for oil pressure.
All engines started successfully.
Okay, that's all good. So now we've got police patrol on the way, and that police patrol is actually on the way. There is actually a police car in the sim travelling on the way to the emergency. That's the level of detail that's in this mod. It is incredible. Right, let's have the strobe on. We don't need lights at the moment, but I'm just going to put some on just in case. Everything else is okay. Let's have some ventilation, some heat. Guys in the back need it as well.
Okay, all good.
That's all good. Okay, quick check down here. We've got no warnings on. We can have this on, but what I am going to do, just wait for that to go through it. So we've now got an ambulance on the way as well.
System test okay.
And a fire engine as well. How are we with the sound? Let me know if there's any issues with the sound and then we'll get that done. So what I am going to do is I'm going to turn off the tours for the purposes of the stream, because otherwise it'll be going off all the time and it'll be driving everyone absolutely bonkers. Right, did you have a good check outside? Yes, he did. Okay, so let's have both engines to flight. We can have all those on, and let's have a look. So we see here that we have got no information in the waypoint, and if I go to the map we can see that's the location. You can see there's an ambulance already there, but they need our help, and you can see that that line is white. So it's a really weird little quirk. There's two things that we need to do. First of all, we need to go into here. We need to set MSFS as our nav source. So we're not using the GTNs as a nav source, we're using MSFS because that's where the mission information is coming from. So we can get rid of that. We can go back to map submissions. Our line is still white and that's still got no information in it. And the last thing we need to do, Lord knows why, is cycle the Garmin. And now we can see, blimey, it's only 3.3 nautical miles away. And we've got a blue line there. So we're all good to go. No warnings here. Everything's fine there. I'm going to put you over there. I'm going to have you here. Wrong one. You there. And then we are all good to go. So we are hardly going anywhere. We're only going to Elgin. If you know the area, Elgin's just up the road. Okay. Guy, Rob, is this a tutorial video? Yeah, you reminded me. This isn't a tutorial video. Mistakes will be made. I don't make these videos to show you how it's done. I make it because I love it and I'm fascinated by it and I'm just sharing it with you. And if you do happen to pick anything up along the way, then that is all fine and dandy with me. That's the deal. Okay, right. Are we ready? Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready in the back, lads. Yep, okay, let's go. So, wind is from over that way. Obstacles are Dirty Great Big Hangar to the left, Dirty Great Big Hangar to the rear. Trees over there, Frank over there, at least he's not having a fag. So we're going to lift and we're going to head that way, and then that's more or less on course, which is quite handy. Okay, cyclic trim release on. Quick cover check. Everything is alright, everything's good. Okay, let's lift.
Ambulance with no paramedic, police, fire engine are on the way to the accident site.
So that is that's my doctor. I always think of it as being my doctor, but whoever it is, it's someone in the back who is in touch with the ground station, and they're basically from time to time they're going to feed us useful information, which is always handy.
I set a possible hospital destination for our patient.
Okay, let's
Infos are available on tablet. We can confirm or change later.
there we go. So we've got a relatively simple mission to start off with, in that it's so blooming close. So if you do want to join, oh look, okay, we've got to do it. I want to show you. I told you that all these vehicles and things are actually in the sim. They are. So we've got a fire engine en route. So we're going to whoever fell off the ladder can just wait, because this is important. I need to show you the fire engine, because I just think this is so
2
cool.
nautical miles from accident area.
There he is. There he is. Chinook, how you doing? Mr. Marin, thank you very much. Much appreciated for the sound check there. Mr. Marin, isn't possible to load? I don't know. I don't use the PMS. I use the TDS GTN, and for that you would have to manually load it in. But for the purposes of this mission, it takes the data from the tablet from the mission. There is our fire engine. You see, it exists. It's real. It's in the sim. That's simulated. That's the kind of detail we're talking about. And this add-on, once you've bought the H145 and the action pack, this Random and Anywhere add-on is free. It's crazy that it's free. It really is. And I'm not just saying that.
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
I mean, you can do the PayPal donation and that sort of thing on flightsim.to, and it's well worth it. And the amount of work this guy puts into it, he's always improving it, tweaking it, listening to feedback. Just amazing. And I need to concentrate on what I'm doing. So let's have a look. There it is. Get my head back into helicopter mode after flying so much fixed wing. So not great from the point of view of landing a helicopter down there. Don't really want to hoist. This is Elgin over here. Let's just have another look. Yeah, that's going to be a land on, but where? Where? Let's get rid of the tabletto because we don't need that. Let's have a closer look. I'm wondering if maybe down here somewhere, although that looks like trees, although there's not much in the way of 3D trees. Not really inclined to put it down here. Yeah, that's not going to be too clever, is it? Not going to be too clever at all.
We are reasonably close.
I know we're reasonably close, old boy, but unless you want to prang into the trees, I suggest... Okay. Oh, not a good time to get an itchy nose, is it? I think we might be a bit too far if I try and land in this field, but let's see. It does seem a long way away. Those trees are definitely too close together. We can't really land on the house, that would be rude. I'm a little bit inclined to hoist. Although we wouldn't really hoist in this situation, we would land. Okay, I'm going to try and land. I think we might be too far away. But I'm going to land in this field and see what happens. But we need to be careful of that that line there. Where's the wind? Wind is coming from that direction. Well, there's the road. There is the road. There's the fire engine. Yeah, let's go road. This is where, of course, in real life it's quite handy because you have a crew that can help guide you in. I think he turned left round about here, so I'm going to do the same and see what happens.
We are too far.
Okay, that's not going to work. So it's time to break out the dangly string.
Rear crew, prepare for hoist operations.
This is unusual.
Preparing for hoist operations.
It's time for the dangly
Hoist
string.
extended. We are reasonably close. Set hover appropriately.
Alright, sunshine, hang on. Cool your jets. We're coming in. See, we've got the police, fire engine and ambulance there now, all because someone fell off a ladder. Okay, so I'm just going to hand fly it until we get round about here.
50 meters.
Okay, and then let's...
Position is good.
Come on.
Hold position.
There we go.
Operator is getting hooked.
Went a
Hold
bit
position.
doolally there. Okay.
50 meters.
Okay, what's going on?
Hoist is running down.
Let's just stabilise a second. There's something weird going on with the collective. Bear with me. We're bouncing up and down over something and I'm not sure what it is. Let's just stabilise it.
Personnel on ground and disconnected.
Okay.
Hoist is running up.
There it goes again.
Height is good. Hold position.
I presume we're getting an updraft from something, but you can see it's not staying in a stable vertical position. It's kind of dropping, and I want to go to an outside view, but
Dock is getting.
here we go. So he's going to run down now. There he goes. an eye on the helicopter.
Hoist is clear. Hook is in. Hook boom is retracted. You are free to leave hover.
Okay, let's get out of the hover. So, cyclic release on and off with that.
50 meters.
Yeah, collective behaving very strangely there. There has been, I know there's been some talk about, is it SU3? Sometimes the H145 behaving strangely in certain circumstances, and I've seen it where it's almost like suddenly there's a huge updraft and something odd going on, and that's kind of what that felt like, because it was bouncing up and down on almost like a column of air. So they're just doing their thing. And what we could actually do is land in this field and wait to be called.
We are too far.
There we go. So we'll just wait to be called. And I can quickly catch up with the chat and have a slug of tea. Oh, Chinook. How long are you streamed for? I don't know, mate. I don't know. See how it goes. It's 11:15 here in the UK, so we'll see what happens. Ah, right. Now, I have no idea how to pronounce your name. S7333V0. Is that Stevo? I'm guessing it's Stevo, actually. No, I didn't try the Halloween scenario, but I did see some pictures that people have posted.
According to Doc, ground operations are nearly finished.
Okay,
You
so
can either head back and hover right away or stay here to load the patient.
okay, so we're gonna head back. How rude! Here am I trying to catch up with the chat. Yes, Stevo, that is a very it's a very good YouTube channel. We shared it on the Discord. Yes, there's a Discord. There must be a link in there somewhere. Yeah, there is. Streamlabs has posted it. We have a Discord if anyone wants to join. Right, okay, so head tracking back on. Let's get the engine up. There we go. Everything's looking good. Everything is fine there. Let's get back up into the air. Love it when you can see the shadow. And then we'll just gently move over. Back in position. It's so clever that, you know, that whole thing, the doctor telling us that he's nearly done, and the mod is kind of the whole time it's kind of calculating the condition of the patient. Our doctor and the paramedic that are there that have been working on the patient is kind of calculating you know, how much they have managed to improve the condition of the patient, and once we get the patient on board, the patient condition will still change. Look, it's doing it now. See how the helicopter's kind of almost vibrating, wobbling around. I think it must be something to do with updrafts, because we're coming up to this hill. It must be something to do with that, but let's have a look. So there he goes, suddenly lifted up,
We are too far.
suddenly
15
dropping.
meters.
Okay, let's have it into. It's doing the same thing again. The way
Height is good.
we're bouncing around. Okay, I think that's stabilised. No, it's going up again.
Height is good. Please stand by. Hoisting preparations are ongoing and will be completed shortly.
And
Set
again.
hover conditions.
Be interested to see if it does this in any
We are
other
too
place.
high.
Alright, just trying to gently descend without it going crazy.
Hold position. Hoist 1. Height is good. Dock and action will be with the ambulance to the designated hospital. We have to pick the hospital helipad.
Okay, just watching that collective like a hawk. Not quite sure it's not why it's not running out the.
Hoist is running down.
There we go. Now he's doing it. Really doesn't want to stay in a stable vertical position.
Hoist on ground. Personnel is getting hoist is running up.
Constantly having to make quite aggressive corrections with the collective.
Hook is in. Hook boom is retracted. You are free to leave hover.
Okay,
Secured. Ready to fly.
so what's happening here is that the I think the patient is going with, oh sorry, our doctor is going with the ambulance, which is what sometimes happens. So let's come back to here. So I'll let me just do for a moment. I'll come back to you. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Is the ambulance going to move? Yep, okay. So, there he goes. There's the ambulance going now. So,
VTOS.
and believe me when I say
VY.
that ambulance is going to drive from here to Raigmore Hospital in the sim. It's really going to do it. The question is, do we really want to wait? And there is a way that we can get around that, but we're going to fly to Raigmore. We're going to do the proper thing. So what's happening is our doctor, HEMS is all about taking the expertise of a hospital to the patient rather than just being like a taxi driver, picking up the patient and taking them back to the hospital. And what's happening in this scenario is that our doctor has deemed it more beneficial for the patient if he travels with the patient in the ambulance rather than flying by air. And there could be reasons for that. It could be that he just doesn't think that the health of the patient is going to benefit from being carted up into an aircraft and dragged through the air. But that's what's happening there. So I'm just going to do a couple of things now. I'm going to put us onto autopilot. I'm going to couple us to the track. Let's come back on the speed a bit. You've got to be so careful in the H145 that you don't over torque it when it's on autopilot. It's very easy to do. There we go. So at the moment I'm using the hat switch on the collective just to feed in a bit of a altitude climb. I'm keeping an eye on the speed, and I'm keeping an eye on the power bar on the left just to make sure it doesn't over torque. But I want to make sure we're not going to bang into any ground as well. And then I can come back to the chat. I'll tell you what we will do. So symptoms: no feelable pulse, that's not great. 13 years old, female, unconscious, fallen from a ladder in the garden. Medical assistance is required, so we picked them up. Medical diagnostic page. Nora Sanders, 13 years, female, injured person in his garden. Diagnosis undefined. Status upon medical arrival unconscious, not a good sign. Patient assigned emergency code 2. 2 means immediate risk of serious injury, and a life score of 47. 0 being, let's face it, we're not needed anymore, and 100 being, why are you wasting the RAF's time? There's nothing wrong with you, you wimp. So she's kind of somewhere in the middle. And that will change over time. So our doctor is there in the ambulance with the patient, and she could get better or she could get worse. We'll leave it on just so we can keep an eye on it. But of course, when the patient is on board the helicopter, that's when it really gets a little bit unnerving. Okay, so just keeping that climb in. I'm just going to see the red line starting to come down. That's how close we are to potentially over torquing. And we're just intercepting the course now. I've got it set up so when we get the next mission, the radius will be focused on where we are. So it'll keep us kind of hopping around. But it's unusual to get a mission that's so close to your current position. Okay, I'm now going to just blip up the speed a bit. Steady on. Steady on. You stay there. I'm now going to do the kiss of death and jump outside. Lovely livery, that. I should say, so that livery is that helicopter there. That's an RAF Sea King from 202 Squadron that was based at RAF Lossiemouth, where we flew from. And X-Ray Zulu 588 is that. That's the livery that we're flying, and that helicopter is currently looked after by Historic Helicopters. Rota Jez, who is in the chat, it is his helicopter. He looks after it. He's actually a real-world helicopter engineer chap, and they look after that beautiful Sea King. Oh, I see he's giving a run. Well done, guy. I've been so focused on doing the flying, I haven't checked on the chat. But that is great. You are just, yeah, you're just talking about all the missions and everything. Mystic Dark, what's that crossed out square on the top left of the collective indicator? That, okay, that there is because we have got the bleed air heating on and the air conditioning. If I turn that off, maybe not. Oh, it's because I haven't turned the dial down. There we go. It's gone. Okay, what is going on? And let's have that back on. So that's all that is. It just means that you've got bleed air. It's just to warn you that you've got your bleed air heating on. So yeah, what Guy's talking about all the different options. This is kind of what I was saying at the beginning. You can either just do the random and take whatever it throws at you, which is kind of what we've just done, or you can adjust all sorts of different parameters. How many crew you've got on, how far you're going. You can narrow down the type of missions that you want to fly. If you only wanted to do search and rescue, for example, you could select or deselect all the other types of mission. There is so much going on. It really is such a cool mod. Northland, how you doing? I can actually show you something now. Let's see if this is going to work. There it is. So little nav map will show you the objects in the sim that the mission has put in there, so we can see we can see the cars, the fire engine, police car, that sort of thing. This is us here, and we're heading over to Raigmore. That there is the ambulance. You can see H145 ambulance. That ambulance is driving along the A96, just coming up to Forres, and that's what I'm talking about when I say that it simulates everything. It's absolutely incredible. You could spend the whole day doing this. I don't propose to spend the whole night doing it, although I could very easily. I haven't had a go on this for a while, so it's kind of nice to be back in it. But yeah, you could land at Raigmore, you could shut the helicopter down, then you could go downstairs, make a cup of tea, have a chat with the wife, whatever, come back to the helicopter and just wait for the ambulance to turn up. It's but we're not going to do that, because short of reading you poetry or I don't know, telling you a bedtime story, there's no point me streaming waiting on the ground for an ambulance to turn up at the hospital. Wow, I've just seen that FMJ 777 Miltech are working on the CH-53 Stallion. Wow, that would be quite something. That would be quite something, wouldn't it? That's a big old beast. Right, let's have a quick look over here. That's all wonderful. There's our ambulance. That's bonkers. This mod is just incredible. I mean, I've done so many missions in it now, but still, I just find it incredible. I just realised I haven't got Atmos on. I keep forgetting to put Atmos on when I fly. So prepare for Atmos. If you haven't used Rex Atmos Core, then this is normal, and I'm just going to turn it on, and then we'll just wait and see. We'll wait for it to take effect, so I'll look out that way. And any minute now. And the first thing that will happen when it changes, you'll think, oh, it's gone dull and grey and murky. But once you get used to it, you suddenly realise that actually it looks more realistic. The only thing I would say is it's maybe the particle... No, actually it's not too bad. I was going to say I could take some of the particle effect out of it. But it definitely makes the lighting more realistic. But when you first change it, there's that sudden feeling of, where's all the colour gone? And then you realise that everything before was very saturated. Co-pilot Cat, this is not a good time, sweetheart. Trust me. We're in the middle of an emergency. We are. We are, yeah. Okie doke. That's all good. That's fine. By the way, I'll just say it again. If anyone wants to fly along, you are more than welcome. We're on the Western Europe server, heading to Raigmore Hospital. So the place to jump in now would be Inverness Echo Golf Papa Echo. But if you want to jump in a helicopter and come along, you are more than welcome. And who knows where we'll end up. How are we off for fuel? Fuel's good. Oh blimey, Co-pilot Cat's coming along. Oh, okay, there we go. That's it. Co-pilot Cat has decided she wants to have a chat. There we go. Yeah, I am trying to fly a helicopter. We're trying to save virtual lives here. Yeah. How's everything looking? We can just blip the speed up a little bit. I'm just being a little bit cautious. Those red bars coming down. That's what I'm talking about. And all it takes is a gust of wind and suddenly you are over talking. Right, you ready to go down now? Hey? Come on then. Watch the flight stick. There we go. Okay, now's a good time to let go. Alright. Okay, she doesn't want to let go. Okay, I'm going to let you... This has never happened before. Okay, there we go. That's it. That's it. Now you can... There you go. You get on your chair. I have another chair in here, which when my wife comes in to have a chat, if I'm flying or working, she'll sit on it. But the rest of the time, Co-pilot Cat is on there. And she will just lay there for hours and watch the flying. It's bizarre. It really is. Right, catch up with the chat. Mystic Dark. I was thinking about getting Atmos. It gives you that more immersion. Yeah, I think it does. To be honest, I didn't have it in. I didn't have it in 2020. I wasn't going to get it in 2024, but then I'd heard a couple of things about it. I'd sometimes thought that 2024 could be a little bit too saturated with the colour, and I couldn't be bothered to do reshade and all that kind of stuff. And so I got it, and I'll be honest with you, the first time I loaded it up, I sat on the ground, I played with some of the sliders, and I thought, I've just completely wasted my money. I don't even know what this does. It doesn't seem to do anything. But then I downloaded the Andrew Bennett presets, which everyone seems to know about, and it was like, wow, okay, I get it now. Totally get it. So the ambulance is still on its way, but we are not far at all from Raigmore. Life score hasn't changed. Nothing really has changed there at all, actually. So let's go back to dispatch screen and let's get the map back up. We can get rid of that. Follow the aircraft, and we'll just head into the hospital. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to the hospital, and then when we land, we should be able to select to skip the bit where we're waiting for the ambulance to come over. Which will save a bit of time. Guy, currently responding to a quarry worker with severed arm. That right there puts me off the medical profession. Okay, so Guy's running missions as well. Hello, what's that? Where is... There it is. Inverness Airport just over there. So, 3 minutes out from Raigmore. Yeah, Mystic Dirt, exactly. And to be honest with you, I haven't got a Scooby what any of them do, so I just use the preset. What I sometimes do with the preset is I just adjust the particle, some of the particle settings. I have found that if you want like a gin clear day, then I kind of turn it off for that, because it does put a bit of a almost like a mist in. But for weather like today, I'm not looking at you, sunshine, I'm looking out the window. For weather today, you know, it's quite fitting, and once you get used to it, you do realise it's more realistic. It's just that initial moment where you turn it on and it takes the saturation away, and you think, blimey, what's happened to my sim? Okay, 2 minutes out. What was that? Noticed
2 nautical miles from the hospital.
getting a little bit more stuttering than usual. So it's obviously loading something in. That could be the server. Normally I use the is it the Western Asia server or the East Asia server doing this? It just seems to work better for some reason. Patetra. Right, okay, so let's get our hands on. Got that on, and let's take the autopilot off. Start reducing the speed. Where's the wind? The wind is over there.
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
Just see the helipad. Oh, by the way, I'm using Epic full Scottish hospital helipads. So I'm just going to close the tablet now so we've got better visibility. Checking the wind.
Site is safe for operations. We can proceed.
Well, I should Coco, matey. So I'm just swinging it around the hospital building. It's interesting. So we're getting a regular stutter. And I've seen that before, but I can't remember what caused it. I wish I could remember what caused it.
This was a very good touch.
Okay, let's open the tabletto again. Ambulance will arrive to hospital within 6 minutes. Will it now? That's interesting. It's not giving us the option to skip it. So let's do that. Engines to idle. Eclipse, how you doing? Let's get the VMS up. Oh, there we go. Skip ambulance travel. So we could sit here and we could wait another 5 minutes, but I'm not going to inflict that on you. So we are going to skip that. And there we go. And hopefully, if it all works, any minute now.
Site is safe for operations. We can proceed.
Doc is calling. Ambulance arrived at emergency department. Wait for doctor to come back. So the doctor's gone in there. He has done his bit, and we're just waiting for him to come out now. So let's. I think they normally come from that direction. So I'm just going to lock it off. There he is. Off there in the distance, sauntering along, being the brave doctor thing. I'm tempted to change server just to see if that solves the stutter thing. He's taking his own sweet time, isn't he? Let's do it. I don't know if there is actually anybody flying along, but if there is, I'm going to switch to the Southeast Asia server because that seems to work a little bit better. Or certainly not seen that stuttering before. Have I got? Yeah, I've got the rolling cache limit set. So that's good. See if that makes any difference. Come on, mate, hurry up. Look at him. Strutting over there. He's just saved a life. And he's making the most of it. But I hope you kind of understand. In a way, yes, it's irritating having to sit here and wait for him to come over, only because we're on a stream. That's all. But what is incredible about this mod, and you can tell it's been written by a guy who is real-world aviation, is that the time that it takes to do various different things has been built into it. The time that it takes the crew to prepare the helicopter in the back for flight, the time that it takes for the medical crew to work on the patient on the ground, the time it takes, had we brought the patient here to the helicopter, to the hospital, our crew would have gone in with the hospital team to do a handover. You know, our doctor would have said to the doctor in the A&E department, okay, this fella did this, did that, we gave him these drugs, we stuck a bandage on his head, and this was his heart rate and all that kind of thing. And it's simulating the time it takes for the doctor to walk out the ambulance to the helicopter so that we can get going again. That is just crazy detail. Crazy detail. Okay, right, let's jump back in. There we go. Let's get the head tracking back on. In your own sweet time, sunshine. Look at that swagger. RAF Doctor. No given. Come on. Okay. There we go. So we're ready for the next mission. Let's receive a new dispatch. Let's see what we get. So it's just going to go through a process now of cleaning up from the old mission, loading up the new mission. Worker injured by forklift in the depot. Okay. There we go. We've accepted that. Everything is set up here. Quick check over here. Engine's good. Fuel is good. So it's cycling through now. It's, as I say, sweeping out all the objects and everything from the mission that we've just done.
Preparations, please wait.
And loading in the new mission. The guys in the back are getting ready. 12% completed. packing away all the bandages and the sweet wrappers from the last one. We're going, what was that, 13 nautical miles. We are going up that way. If you watch Traitors, by the way, the Traitors Castle is up in this area. We did a flight there last weekend.
Preparations completed.
Okay, at least one injured, waiting for info. Worker injured by forklift in a depot, waiting info about rescue vehicles present and symptoms, abdominal pain. I bet. That didn't surprise me. That's where we're going. Strathpeffer is where we're going. Strathpeffer, do you know what? I want to say it's famous for something, but I'm not sure what. Quick check. Yep, good. Okay, just waiting for that to go to 101. We have a blue line, we have data there, so that means that our nav is all hooked up nicely. Wind is over there, but we don't want to fly into that building. And obstacles are building ahead, buildings behind, well, kind of over there. And we've got a car park over here, so we don't want to bang into that. We've got 101 there, we've got no warnings, and we are all set and good to go. Quick hover check, no warnings, engine instruments are within limits, so let's lift. So I need to watch out. There's a big mast there. There's a big mast there, and there is the church tower there. So we want to thread through that as we climb. And we're all good.
BY.
Keeping the climb in. Ambulance route received. Getting blown around a little bit. I'm just going to manually fly it a little bit more, just to get some height. Trying to keep it on VY. Watching the power bar. All those bongs that you can hear is more information coming into the mission information page. So we can have a look at that in a sec. I'm now going to release the socket trim override. We're going to go into autopilot. Interesting. There we go, and we couple. There we go. Okay, that's all good. So let's have a look at the medical page. I'm going to have to lock off the head tracking because you have to get the click spot just right. 60 years male, worker injured by forklift in a depot. Ambulance is on the way. Police is on the way. As accident site may be off-road, if it's needed, we will define a nearby area where rescue team can support your operations. Okay, interesting. Interesting. There we go. Mike Coffey. Oh, the scenery review guy. Hello. Hello. Is the resource heavy? Seems a bit choppy. No, Oscar, I think there's just something funny going on. I was just saying before, it's got a It's got a fairly regular stutter that's coming in. I don't know if there's something going on server side. My settings are exactly the same as they always are, and it doesn't do this. It seems to have smoothed out a bit now, actually. Yeah, it's smoothed out a bit. Very odd. I don't think I've got anyone flying with me, because sometimes that can... Let's quickly... I'm going to put labels on and jump out. No, so it's not that. It's definitely smoothed out now. Do you know what? It might be something simple as I might just need to empty the rolling cache, because that can sometimes do funny things. Just looking to see if it's still regular. I remember there was some time ago there was a something happened that caused regular stutter, and I can't remember what it was, but it seems to be coming back in. Let's try Summit. Honestly, flight simming seems to be spending a lot of time trying to troubleshoot. HHHHHH7375. It does. We just did one. We just did a. It was kind of fairly routine mission to pick up a casualty, but because of where it was, we had to winch up. So I'm just looking now at I'm looking at the performance of my system, just to see if I can, those stutters that we were seeing are linked to anything there, just to rule it out, because I don't believe it is. But it's all smooth now, so I'm just going to leave that there.
With no paramedic. Police are on the way to the accident site.
To be honest, Mike Coffey, 2024 for me most of the time is absolutely fine. It's unusual for it to behave like this. I had an issue before, really, when I was streaming, doing multiplayer, because I had wake turbulence on, which of course can break FPS, but that is off, so I know it's not that. I think it is just one of those things. Done quite a bit of flying the last couple of days, so it could be... I doubt the rolling cache is full. Okay, that's interesting. So when it spiked before, it was the... I'm just going to check it and see if it does it again. It was the... it was downloading.
I set a possible hospital
So
destination for our
it
patient.
could be something
Infos
server
are
side.
available on tablet. We can confirm or change later.
I'm lucky in that these days I've got ridiculously fast internet broadband. Whereas before I used to have some like 10 megabits per second download. Now I've got just over 900 and a similar upload speed, so I know it's not that, but it could be something server side.
2 nautical miles from accident area.
Okay, let's get the head tracking back on. Come on, let's have head tracking. There we go. So we're coming in 1 minute. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot, so cyclic trim release on. Disconnect the autopilot. Wind's coming from the left, so just anticipating that.
500.
Okay, that stutter there doesn't coincide with
We are approaching the landing site.
anything to do with hardware or even the download speed, so that's interesting. So let's do a quick recce, see what we've got to play with. There it is. So I think we'll go into the crossroads next to the church. Yeah, let's see how that looks. So, nice gentle descent. Kick it round. Of course, with the helicopter, the last thing you want is any kind of stuttering, because you're having to make lots of small inputs. Yeah, it's a fairly regular stutter, isn't it? Okay, that was a big spike on the download. So I'm going to come in over the church. Just checking. Oh, there it is. I can see it. Okay, so this is easy. We'll go into the car park. There's our casualty down there. Checking for the trees.
We are reasonably close.
I should hope so, mate. You need the exercise.
This was a very good touch.
Okay.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations.
Come on.
Helicopter in position. Rear
So-
crew, you are clear to start operations.
Been assigned to and a life score of 53. Let's jump outside. Because we're not winching, we can actually watch what happens now. So there's the crew. There's that stutter. They are now going to go over to the casualty. He's over there. He's alright, he's kind of sitting up on the ground. Being the Royal Air Force, they don't need to walk round a building, they're going to walk through it. There we go, and through the container. And now they're going to start working on the patient. There you go. Now, if we jump back in, what's he saying? Ground operations in progress, helicopter area clear, operations may take a while. So, we are going to close the helicopter down. Okay, that's so good. We can acknowledge all that. That's fine. And then what we're going to do is we need to keep this mission radio open. So there is a little cheat that we can use which simulates the fact that in the real world they'd have a battery operated radio or telephone that they could keep in touch with main base on. Pressing that ground power gives us, kind of simulates that, keeps that running, so that if I now come up here and we have avionics off, standby battery off, and then if I turn the battery off, we've still got connection, radio is still connected, and that's all good. Okay, there you go. Let's just come out. There we go. Keep an eye on them. Oh, so he's now going to come back, and he's almost certainly going to get the stretcher. So, why is he walking over there? Okay, let's just lock that off there, so we can keep an eye on it. I have a nasty feeling this might be another job where they load it into the ambulance and it goes to the hospital on the ambulance, but let's see. Sergeant Grunt, controllers. Okay, very quickly, I went through at the beginning, but very quickly, Warthog, Thrustmaster Warthog grip on a 15cm extension to a Verpal Warbird base, TPR pedals with a damper fitted, and the Verpal TCS rotor collective with a Hawk 60 grip. 73-75. Would you turn back and get somebody else if the patient's life score were 100? I don't know. It's never happened to me. I've had a patient die on the way to the hospital, and that just kind of, from memory, I think that just kind of ended the mission. Or did I? No, I think I had to take the patient to the hospital still, because obviously you don't just weak it out over the moors. But yeah. Oh, hello. Sorry, I just realised. What's going on? Bear with me. Waiting for the crew to be abroad. Okay. I'm just wondering why Matey Boy is there. What's going on? Let's have a look. So the patient's gone. There's the ambulance. Ambulance is heading off. Ambulance is moving to Regmore Hospital. Reach the hospital and wait if needed for the doctor to board. Yeah, it's doing the same thing again. How funny. Wow, twice in a row. It's not done that before. And have we still got that steady? Felt like we did. Okay, so let's start up again. Okay, so we've got some lights on. Let's get the battery on. Prime pump, we're going to go 2 and 1 this time. Where's he gone? Go on, there you go. Do some work. Power up test, okay, so that's good. Let's just check Battery is good for start. So let's go 2. Engine idle. And then having a look over here. M1 rising. Oil pressure rising. TOT rising. Let's just turn the bleed air off while we're doing this. So, good start on engine 2. Are you happy? Are you still looking?
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine. Engine clear.
So yeah, that is highly unusual to get 2 missions in a row where the doctor's gone with the patient to the hospital. I think what we might do for the next one, I might manually set a search and rescue operation in the mountains. That would be rather cool.
All engines started successfully.
Okay, that's good. He's now going to do the leak checks.
Hold on. Performing leak checks.
That's what I just said, mate. Don't worry. Let's have that on, and we can turn the heating on now. Strobe light on. That's all good. Happy with that. Quick check down here. That's all good.
TOS system test okay.
Okay, all good.
I meant to say, I can't believe I missed it. I know I've put it in the notes below. We're also using the Kicker's voice mod, so that's adding the extra voices with the radio effect on them. Okay, let's go. So wind over there. Obstacles are buildings, trees, cars. Get out of the way. Hooligan. Oh, quick check here. Let's cycle that. We may have to select it as the nav source. No, it's come up. There we go. Blue line, blue. That's all good to go. And off we go to Rakemore. Quick hover check. Oh, that stutter's a pain in the neck.
VTOS.
Just lift over this ridge. Just going to fly to the right of it.
VY.
There we go. And boof. Autopilot on. Couple. Feet off the pedals. Check for stability. Everything is fine. There's the ambulance. We might just see it. It's on that road over there. Just in between the trees. It'll be roundabout on the nose. Damn it. Wrong road. is that road. Where is he? There he is. You can just see him tootling along. Gruntworks, thank you for subscribing, much appreciated. Good to have you on board. Right, let's just lock that off. Bum, 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 bum. Where did we get to? How large screen do you have, and when is it worth getting head tracking? My thoughts, it's going to be confusing looking left, but you still have to keep your eyes on the screen. Okay, this is a good question, actually. This is a good question. So I've gone from I recently had a 32-inch screen, and now I've got a I can't remember what size it is. Is it 40, 42? I can't remember. Might be 42. The head tracking is the Grass Monkey King Puck system. And yeah, I didn't think so. There we go. Meant to do that. Select MSFS as the nav source. I could just see it kind of it had drifted over the line. It was flying in the general direction, but not exactly the right one. And it is incredibly intuitive. So head tracking at the moment, if I want to look to the left, I only have to move it a small amount, and I'm not even thinking about where my eyes are. I'm looking at the side of the helicopter now, and I know you know I'm looking at the side of the helicopter, but what I mean is my body isn't telling me otherwise. I'm looking at the side of the helicopter, and I move my head back slightly,
500,
and I'm looking out the front, and it's as simple as that. There's no awkwardness. It's not uncomfortable. I'm using a preset that comes with that you can download from the Grass Monkey head tracker page, and everything else has the same thing, you know, track IR, whatever you're using, and it's absolutely intuitive. And I don't know how else to describe it. Head tracking becomes so natural that you don't even think about it. I mean, I'm just looking out the side of the helicopter and looking out the window. I can lean around here and look at the back of the helicopter, and I'm not uncomfortable. I'm not having to crick my neck. I mean, you can see the angle of my head now, and I'm looking back. That's not uncomfortable, and the angle that I'm looking at the screen isn't uncomfortable. So yeah, you just get used to it. What's that? My copy. When I go to bed, I will not out of time anymore. Let's see, there was once a president who messed up savings. Okay, yeah. So you don't have savings time in Canada. We're back on Zulu time here now. So yeah, it's what? Or UTC. It's 11:44 UTC-ish. Yeah, 11:44 UTC. And it's the same time here. Yeah, it is. It's very handy. And I also have VR, but I've not used VR for some time because I've got things going on with screens here, and I've got my controllers, and in VR, because you're locked out from all of that, I actually tend to use head tracking more than I use VR these days. Northland, Rob, got tied up on a work call. Want to catch up. Where are you near? So we're heading back to Raigmore, Northland. So the nearest is Inverness, if you want to load in. And we're going to head to the mountains and do a search and rescue mission that I'm going to set up. Yeah, so Inverness, Echo Golf Papa Echo is going to be the nearest. In fact, what I'll do is I will drop I'll pick up the doctor and I'll fly to Inverness and refuel. And we'll just top up the tanks a bit. We'll do a hot refuel. That stutter is frustrating.
2 nautical miles from the hospital.
What happens if you just trying to troubleshoot different things? I'm sure it can't be the cache, the rolling cache, but I wonder what happens if I delete it. If I delete the file while I'm still in the sim and then reset up the rolling cache, I wonder what happens. Right, I need to focus. So, cyclic trim release on, autopilot off. I'd knocked it, bucked them because I'd actually knocked the cyclic. So as soon as I took it off autopilot, it kind of reared up. So there's the landing pad. Wind is coming from over there. So let's close that. We're going to drop down here. Watch out for the mast, which I know is around here somewhere. There's the helipad.
$500.
Site is safe for operations. We can proceed.
Oh, I see the wind seems to have changed. It's rather rude of it. Let's throw out the anchor. Sloppy. That's what happens when you mess up your approach.
Whoa, nice touch, Captain.
No, it wasn't. It was bloody awful, and you know it. Okay, skip ambulance travel, because again, in case you didn't see, there's our ambulance travelling along. And I don't really want to wait for the ambulance. It's saying that it's going to be here in 13 minutes. 13 seconds maybe. I don't think so. So we're going to skip that. Have you tried auto FPS? It helped me. I haven't. People have mentioned it, but I haven't tried it. I don't normally have a problem with FPS, but something's definitely going on tonight. What did you say? Mr. the tailwind? Yeah, but it's only 3 knots, mate, so I think we can get away with it. I think we've got an armchair flying instructor with us. Oh, I just realised we've got to wait for him to walk from over there now, haven't we? Cheers, Guy. Take care, mate. I am so tempted to see... it can't be the rolling cache. Stutters sometimes happen when the rolling cache is full. And I don't know what happens if I delete the rolling cache right now while we're still in the sim. It's not something I'd normally do, and I certainly wouldn't do it if I was if I wasn't streaming. But I don't really want to. Put it this way, it's either restart the sim for sure and do it, or we just see what happens. I'm a little bit tempted to see what happens. So let's see. Yeah, that's still working. Okay, so we are about to go in and do surgery. Yes, that's right. Guy Sergeant grunts, the cache should help if you're in the same area often. Yes, it does. But what sometimes happens is that you know, you do a lot of flying, the cache gets full, and when the cache gets full it can start to induce stutters, so you empty it out and then it's smooth again. Kickers, how you doing, mate? Kickers in the chat is the guy who's done the voices. If you have a gigabit connection, you don't really need rolling cache at all. Do you know what? There's so many different opinions on that. Some people say that you need to still have a cache. Some people say you don't. I never know which is which. So I use it. Anyway, I'm going in. I'm now going to delete. I did click on to expedite the ambulance, which seems to have worked, but it's not quite translated yet through to here, so to hell with it. I'm going to delete the rolling cache. It won't let me do it because the sim's running. That's a shame. That is a shame. Okay. So the ambulance has disappeared, but I think what's happened is I think the mission has potentially frozen. Sometimes when you skip, if you think about it, you're cheating the program and the coding and everything. Most of the time you get away with it, but I think this time we haven't got away with it because the ambulance has disappeared and there's no message coming up saying that the doctor is on its way. So I think we are probably screwed anyway. Okay, so what I'm going to do, it helps if you have a poor connection and you fly in the same area. It helps not downloading all the time, the same thing. Yeah, exactly. That's what the cache is for. Exactly. But kickers, you've probably seen it as well. There are people that say if you, to be honest, for me, if I normally have a large cache size, which I do, I've got something like a 200 gigabyte cache size. I don't have any issues with it. It's just every now and again I have to empty it out. And there's enough people that swear blind that performance is better if you have a large cache that I've just put it that way. But there's definitely something weird going on with the that regular stutter anyway. So what I'm going to do, because that is not going anywhere, I'm going to abort the mission. I'm going to do this. I'm going to quit. And now I'm going to do surgery. I'm going to delete my rolling cache, and it may even just help restarting the sim anyway. Okay, delete rolling cache. There we go. Tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to just I'm going to delete my shaders. Why the hell not? Okay, that's that done, and now we can start the sim up again. It's worth doing it just to try and troubleshoot. Oh God, I need to turn off Atmos. If you start the sim with Atmos already running, it goes proper weird. Okay, come on, sim, come back to life. So, Northland, what I'll do is I'll load in Inverness, if that's where you were heading off to. And anyone else who wants to come along, by the way, we're now on the Southeast Asia server at Inverness. Echo Golf Papa Echo is where we'll be starting off, and we'll do I'll set up a search and rescue mission up into the mountains, and we'll get one of those in. What wonderful sights. Lots of bigging going on. Flight simming, hey. The amount of time, when you think about it, the amount of time we spend tweaking and troubleshooting. It's amazing. And also, of course, because everything is so much server based now with Flight Sim, you'd never quite know. There we go. You never quite know if there's something weird going on with the servers, which is why it helps sometimes if there's people flying with you. If they're reporting the same thing, then at least you know it's potentially the server. Board, how are you doing? How is Norway this evening? It's quite late there, actually, isn't it? What time in Norway now? Is it 1 o'clock or is it 2 o'clock in the morning? So I'm just building the cache again. Bear with me. It's worth doing it. It's worth doing it, I think. And as I say, sometimes just restarting the sim can, if there's something weird going on. But I've been doing I've been moving scenery folders around and that sort of thing, doing some troubleshooting and testing with something else. So there's always that chance that something has become a little bit unsettled. I was talking about what happened with the Orbeck scenery before, and it could be as simple as something weird going on there, but that feels like a server thing that's going on. I don't know why, it just does, but you know, again, I've seen similar behavior when the cache gets full, and it shouldn't be, but to hell with it. You know, let's troubleshoot it. Let's at least give it a chance. Right, so Inverness. And I don't think, yeah, there's no parking there. They're all the helipads. We'll go to the Coast Guard station, and I will set this departure on the ground shutdown. Preset live weather and time. I'll put it back to there. Okay, let's see what happens. Will the mystery stutter have gone? Who knows? I'm all good, thank you, Bourne. All good. All good, and will be all the better if everything is running a bit smoother now. Okay, so ready to fly. We'll click that. We'll get in there. Let's now turn on Atmos. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, right. Let's see if I turn labels on. I'm not seeing Northland, but he might be. Okay, Northland, if you're in, of course you will be in the chat. Let me know if you can see me. I am on. I'm just going to double check the server. Southeast Asia server. Okay, booth. So same as before, we have to load up the mission first. So let's just do a couple of things. Lock off the head tracking, then I can move around. So we're going to go random and anywhere using the test missions, or the test mission. Let that scoot up. That's good. That's fine. Okay, we're going to go single player. I'm going to go manual mission selection. I'm going to go, we'll select search and rescue. Missing hiker on mountain, select this mission. Variant 2 is fine. And okay, there's the crew arriving. Where's it gone? Select.
Hey, good morning, all. Ready for the missions?
Hey, Frank.
Good morning, Frank.
Hi, Captain. Helicopter is ready to fly. Logbook filled and signed. Fuel tanks are almost full.
Okay.
If you need refueling, please ask.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay.
Flight check.
Let's get that connected.
Ready to supply external power at your request.
Let's have a quick look at the fuel state. Turn the mission radio on. Just some tweaks there, Mystic Dark. Nothing massively major. Okay, that's all good. Fuel's actually quite good, so we don't need to refuel. Push call to connect. There we go. Right.
Final equipment checks. Hold on.
Okay, so let's get everything wound up now. So we will have some lights
Cabin
on.
secured. All set to proceed.
Preparing for engine starting sequence.
Okay,
1, 2.
he can get out and do his thing. Let's get the map up. At least one injured waiting for information. Reported missing person during hiking search and rescue is required.
Area clear. Ready to start engine 1.
Okay, and we're heading into the hills that way. That's good. Engine 1, start. Quick check. Battery. Battery is good. M1 rising. TOT rising. Oil pressure is rising.
GPU disconnected. Ready to go. Good day.
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine.
All good. Keep strutting out there. Loving it. Loving every
Engine
minute
clear.
of it he is. Everyone rising, TOT rising, and oil pressure is rising.
All
So-
engines started successfully.
More binging going on. Okay, both engines started.
Performing leak checks.
Quick look down here. We can acknowledge all that now. Transfer pumps on. Prime pumps off. Let's have avionics on. Standby battery. DC reception on. LAVCS2 pilot. Pitot heat on. We'll have the strobe light on now actually as well, and let's get some air and heat going. That's so good.
Okay, all good.
Right, excellent. Excellent.
TOS. System test OK.
Everything is good there. No problems with that. We can have both engines to flight now. I'm going to go into here and we're going to select MSFS as the nav source. Otherwise the helicopter won't follow what we want it to. This is where we're going. So this is our search location over here. Just northwest of the Cairngorms National Park. Lovely, nice area to go to. Okay, right, quick check. Northland. Yeah, Western Europe, sorry, no, Southeast Asia, Echo Golf Papa Echo, EGPE. I will take off and I'll just circle a little bit to give you a chance. So, cyclic trim release on. Let's have a quick look at everything. I'm going to put you there. No, you there, and VMS over there while we do this. So let's do a hover check. All is good. Right, Frank. Thank you very much. Just dry your air for you. Just going to wait for Northland to head in. There's the Coast Guard base that we've just taken off from, and actually there's the tower. Over here is where the air ambulance, the Scottish Air Ambulance, takes off from. Just over here.
VTOS.
Well, I don't want to preempt it, but I feel like the stutter may have gone. So either the sim just needed a restart, or maybe the cache had got full. Okay, Northland, I see you saying you're here, so I'm just going to come back round, see if I can see you. I don't know if I've got labels on. Can you see me? Oh, I see you. I've got you. Okay, cool. You're airborne. Nice one. Right, we have lost our nav, so I'm just going to, as we did before, cycle the Garmin. Lord knows why, but that brings it back alive again. And there we go. Let's get into the mountains. Harvey, how you doing? Okay, so because we're going to the mountains, I'm just keeping a bit of a climb in, but balancing the and obviously the speed as well, but just balancing those red markers. We don't want to overtalk. That would be embarrassing. Keep that climb in. I can actually where is it? Where is it? There we go. So we've got the tours on the GTNs, but also now we've got it on the on our central MFD there, driven by different sources. The tours on the Garmin is of course driven by the Garmin data. The tours on our central MFD is driven by a database that you load into your community folder. There we go. Okay, so let's now autopilot on, couple. There we go. That's all nicely sorted out. So we're just coming round here over where it's slightly lower, but you can see now that our clearance is absolutely fine. So that's all good. We've got reasonable speed, so I'm just monitoring that. We can start bringing that forward a little bit. But what I don't want to do is overtalk it. Which, as I said ages ago, and if you fly this, you know, when you're on autopilot, if you start messing about with climbing or speed, especially in windy conditions, which we've not got to, but actually no, I tell a lie. We have now got a 28 knot wind coming from that direction. Not quite as bad as the other night when we were flying 41, 42 knot winds, but that's strong enough to be potentially a bit bothersome. So if it gusts and then all of a sudden you find you're over talking, but yeah, we're heading into the mountains. Oh, there's the old, that's the railway bridge, isn't it? Is that Culloden? Where is it? Culloden Viaduct, that is down there. I think it's one of the Orbex POIs. Kickers, yes. Do you know what? I never do the search and rescue pattern with the GTN. I always tend to hand fly it, but it's handy that you've got it there. But it's definitely a neat feature of the Garmin that you can do that. Well, I think we've cured the stutter, so I don't know. I did two things. I restarted it and I cleared the cache. So one of those two has done a nice job of it. Let's... Oh, you can see it on here, can't you? I was going to say. That's where we're inbound to. Nice scenery. I always love flying into the mountains. Not literally flying into the mountains. That's kind of defeating the object, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's nice and smooth now. I reckon, I wonder if after the flight earlier today to Dublin, plus with some of the other, let me just think. So we flew to Dublin.
500.
I did a video the other day, didn't I? With the Texan. So yeah, I probably filled up the cache thinking about it, and that's all it was. Just needed emptying. Quite often when you get those regular stutters, it's the cache being full, is what I found. Yeah, I've never used it, Kickers. Never used it. So what do you normally do? Do you set a user waypoint in the GTN of the target location and then just kind of add it on, or do you do it as you're getting closer? I can totally get how it saves faffing about. And it's probably a more realistic way of doing it. Let's face it. Using the search and rescue thing. Just click on the destination leg and it asks about the SAR pattern. I haven't got any routing plugged into my GTN XIs, so I'm using the nav from the tablet, not from the GTN. So there's no route in the GTN at all. You can force it. I wonder. Problem is, I don't know. Okay, let's think this through. Yeah. I don't know. I think what I'll do is when I get closer, I'll see if I can just add it in. No. God, you know, it's been so long since I've. Been so long since I put a search and rescue pattern in. Via the home, I'm not sure if you don't know it. The GTN home button. Where the hell was it? God, I've completely forgotten. Procedures. Yeah, I've completely forgotten how to do it. Maybe it's because I haven't got a route in. I know it comes up as an option somewhere, doesn't it?
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
That's handy, we've got that on. Okay,
Terrain
so
ahead.
I'm just
Terrain
going
ahead.
to blip in a bit of a climb, coming back on the speed a little bit. Oh, okay, because I've got realistic on.
We will be first on scene.
Yeah, I've got a feeling if I had a route in there, I could probably add the search and rescue pattern, but yeah, it's not going to show up, is it? Graphically edit flight plan. No. No. God, how frustrating. Yeah. Mike Coffee, question. Wonder if a 3-year-old livery for the Bonanza E-Plane works for the new, but I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue, Mike. The only thing that springs to mind is that the new Bonanza, because it is new, it might not necessarily work. But hey, give it a try, see what happens. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Keckers. The only way I could do it is to add a custom waypoint. Probably.
Set a possible hospital destination for our patient. Infos are available on tablet. We can confirm.
I don't know.
Later.
Really not a good time to faff about, but
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
shut up. Yeah, I'm not going to faff about. Something to have a play with another time, I think. So we're just coming up to the centre of our search area. Here.
500.
And now I'm going to take it off autopilot. And we start looking, and the amazing thing about this, and it tickles me every time, is that we can look out, or you as the pilot can look out, but also your crew are looking out. And so far, it's my crew always spot it before I do. And I like to think that's because I'm being a sensible pilot and I'm concentrating on flying the helicopter, but it really does help having a crew that are looking out for you. So I'm going to fly to the edge of the circle. And we will see if we can find our missing hiker. I love the scenery up here in Scotland in this sim. It's so detailed. It's quite incredible. So we'll just check out this ravine, which is kind of on the edge of the circle. Nothing there. Oh, looks like our friend the stutter might be back. With a vengeance. And of course now we are literally just searching. There's no easy way around this. Just come back on the speed a bit. Just read your... Oh, okay, so that thing that's popped up means that the crew have seen something, but quite often the voice element of it comes later than the visual element where the crew have found the target. Cheers, Kickers. Take care, mate.
I believe we found something. Check on tablet.
There we go.
12 check on tablet. Yes, confirmed. We found our target.
Well, you might have, but I hadn't. Let's have a closer look. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that yellow. I can see the yellow backpack. Wind is coming from behind us. There they are, lying on the ground.
We are reasonably close.
You betcha. Let's kill the tablet.
Good job, Captain. Smooth landing.
Okay. Engines to idle.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations. Helicopter in position. Rear crew, you are clear to start operations.
So the medical guys go out now. Have a look. "58 years old female, reported missing person, Waiting info about rescue vehicles present. There aren't. It's just us. Let's get the dispatch info up. Estimated ground operation time 3 minutes from the dock, so I'm not going to kill the engines. We'll keep the engines running. Let's get the medical diagnostic page up. Sign emergency code 3, which is no risk to life, so that's good. And patient condition 69. So she's absolutely fine. Well, she's not absolutely fine. She's got a life score of 69, which isn't perfect, but considering what else we've seen this evening, that isn't bad. So they're going to keep working on it. Let's lock off the head tracking. There we go. That's better, isn't it? So I can show you where we are. Let's go to... Here we are. So we got Aviemore just there, quite well known. And we're just up in the mountains here. That is where our missing hiker has gone. This is this kind of mission is my favourite kind of mission, to be honest. Search and rescue up in the mountains is kind of classic 202 squadron kind of stuff. Now you can see some information has changed now on the medical page. So we've now got, because the doctor is talking to the patient and working on her and all that sort of thing, we're getting some more information. So we've got a name now, and we've also got a heart rate and an oxygen saturation level. And the paramedic is now coming around to get the stretcher. Yeah, missed it. Very lucky. Scotland is my favourite. Sorry, I was just listening to the engine note there. Felt like it changed. Scotland is my favourite area to fly in, and the scenery in this sim up in Scotland is fantastic. I wonder why it is that I'm not seeing Northland's helicopter. We can't see. Oh! There you go. Thank you. What are you flying in, Northland? For some reason I can't see you. I can see your nameplate, but not you. Sometimes the model matching in the sim is just bonkers, isn't it? Right, let's get ready to aviate. So we're going back to Raigmore, which is absolutely fine. That's what I'd expect. Let's have the head tracking there. Cowan Sim 206. Ah, I don't have that one. Maybe that's why.
Patient on board. Take care.
Just closing the doors. Come on, matey. Let's get going. It's been a long evening.
Cabin secured, ready to fly.
Okay, engines to flight. All good over here. Wait for that to get to 101. We're good with that. Okay, let's lift and we'll do a quick hover check. Taking off on a slope there, which was a bit, there we go, hover check. All good. Let's Full pitch. Watch out for the trees. Watch out for Northland. In the latest stealth technology.
VTOS. VY.
Okay. Let's get a nice climb in. I can see Guy Sergeant Grunt up ahead. Keeping the climb in. Yeah, stutter has gone, so I don't know. Oh, it's there a little bit. Autopilot on. As I say, I've not changed any settings, so shouldn't be any issues there. Okay. Hello? I think that was an MH60. Okay, there we go.
Watch
And that's
out! Reduce collective now!
that's what I'm talking about. So busy looking out the window and gawping. We must have hit a gust or something happened and suddenly we're over talking. That's how quickly it can happen, and you've got to catch it. Well, ideally you don't want to get into that situation, but you'd have to catch it quickly. So we'll just gently start bringing the speed back in. Uh, 31, 26, 25 knot crosswind. So the winds are definitely playing up around here. That's for sure. And that's when it's dangerous. Okay, we've got Sky Mega coming in, and I can see a model, but I can't see what it is. Is that a 500? Yeah, it's the 500. Gotta love the 500. So I'm just blipping the speed in. And I'm just going to keep an eye on that now. Yeah, it's a weird thing, Northern. The model matching thing is bonkers. You can have someone fly up next to you and then they fly away and they come back and they're in a different aircraft. It doesn't make any sense, really. Cheers, Mike. Take care. See the old airport. Autopilot is crabbing us quite a bit. I'm just using my pedals to turn the nose a bit, and you can see the autopilot is crabbing us back again. 33 knot crosswind. This helicopter does behave very strangely in strong winds, and I can't remember now, but I think 33 knots isn't far from the limit. So we are 5 minutes out. Four minutes out. Check on the patient condition. Get a click spot. Patient condition 70. So we're looking pretty good. That's actually improved a bit, hasn't it? Patient's got emergency code 3, no risk to life. Heart rate's quite low. Oxygen saturation level is good. Four minutes out. Everything is looking fine. See Inverness over there. Just about make out Inverness Airport. Going to start bringing in a descent now. Now that we're over the hills, and we don't want to be coming in too high over the. Or as we get close to the hospital, it just makes more work for ourselves, really. Flying with alcohol on board. Actually we're not, it just suddenly occurred to me. Okay.
500.
Let's level off. There we go. Two minutes out. Oh, markers. I'm saving lives, mate. I can't afford to. The only thing I've got on board is a giant mug of tea. Okay, so 1 minute out now. Alright, co-pilot Cat just woke her up with that. Okay, so I'm now going to slack it, trim release on, autopilot off, and let's fly it in. Wind is coming from almost behind us, so I'm going to take a slightly different approach this time. We'll come in and we'll just thread round. Obstacles are, there's a big mast by a police station, and then there's another one out towards the Firth. There's the helipad. There's the mast. So we'll fly in. Actually, do you know what? It'd be quicker if we do it this way. I was going to fly around the mast, but it's quicker if we actually cut over this way and then come in. But you can see the helipad there.
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
Watching the wind and also watching that mast. So I think what we'll actually do is we'll go around the back of the mast and then we'll come back on ourselves.
500.
Get your head out of the way, sunshine. I'm looking at that mast. So there's the helipad. And there is the wind. And I'm not talking about the co-pilot. Ha ha ha. Right, let's close the tabletto. Watch the mast. Yeah, it is definitely smoother now. Caught a bit of a gust there. Fly over the chaps. There you go. Dry your air for you for free.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations. Good job, Captain. Smooth landing.
There we go. Now, what's going to happen now is that if I jump outside, let's see if I can do this another way. That's better. And lock it off. So they're going to offload the patient, hand over to the or hand the patient to the hospital crew. They'll then take the patient in there and they'll do the paperwork and everything that I was talking about before. But of course, we're not going to sit here while they do the paperwork. So once they've handed over the patient and we get the it goes into the kind of paperwork mission part. We'll skip that, and then we're going to shall we? Yeah, we'll head back to Lossie. So we're going to return to base and head back to Lossie from here, and then we'll call it a night. How's about that? Thank you, Mystic. Very kind of you, sir. MH60 looking splendid. That 500 is just beautiful. That must be the 500E. Okay, so let's get back into... Come on. There we go. So, head tracking on. We're going to skip paperwork. There we go. So there's the ambulance, or rather the hospital crew, taking the patient into the hospital. If we'd let him go, this fella here would have walked off with them as well, and then they would have done the paperwork. We could have made a cup of tea and all that kind of stuff while he was doing that. But we are going to RTB.
Cabin secured, ready to fly.
I'm going to select a base from map. And come on, come back, come back. There it is. I wonder how close I can get in on the map so I can select, because it's pretty accurate. There we go. So we're going to land here. Accept base destination. There we go. That's all good. What I'm also going to do is dispatch control page. I'm going to say we're unavailable for dispatch. There we go. Because otherwise what happens is they'll keep calling us for missions, which we don't really want. There we go. So let's take head tracking off. That's all good. We can see that's there. It's going to be this GTN, is that it's the active one. Nearest RAF Lossiemouth. Activate. Ah, that's where you saw the Kickers was talking about before about the SAR pattern that you can fly. You have to have a waypoint, but you just saw it then briefly come up there. Okay. So I think we're good to go. Just cycling through that. Yeah, that's fine. GPS destination is in there. Okay, so usual drill. We get the engines into flight. We'll do a quick hover check and then we'll get on our way. Wind is on the nose. Obstacles are buildings, helicopters. And your big Ed, mate, always getting in the way. Okay, just waiting for that to come up to 101. It is at 101. We've got no warnings or anything, so let's lift. Quick hover check. All good, and continue. Nose down. Pick up some speed.
VTOS. VY.
So, if you weren't here right at the beginning of the flight, RAF Lossiemouth is where we started off from, and where this repaint, which is of, I can't see my full screen, but over here, that helicopter on the wall behind me is X-Ray Zulu 588, which is the repaint that we're flying in this helicopter, and it's a Sea King that was based at RAF Lossiemouth, so it's all kind of in there. It all makes sense. Okay, autopilot on and couple. There we go. There's Northland over there. All good. Cheers, Mr. Dark. Good to have you along, mate. Take care. That is lovely, the 500. 500E or 500C, it doesn't matter. They both look absolutely beautiful. Lovely helicopters. Flying helicopters in this sim is just so damn addictive. It really is. I never did much with helicopters in sims before Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and it was actually this helicopter and doing this HEMS stuff that kind of got me into it, and then from there I went on to other helicopters. But it's such great fun. The fact that you can just see something like down there and think, right, I'm going to land and have a look. It is great fun. Yeah, definitely running smoother now, for sure. Let's pick up some speed. Being very cautious that I don't go too far on the speed, because as you saw if you were watching before, you can very quickly go into overtalk. Okay, 14 minutes out. There's Inverness Airport just over there. So that's where we quickly loaded in from just before. And there is an air ambulance base there, so that's actually, if you want to do some air ambulance work up here rather than pretending to be in the Air Force like I am, then that's where you would start from. But we're doing it 202 Squadron styly, and so we're heading back to Lossie and pretending we're in a Sea King, which we're obviously not. Quite a difference. They are funny things, flight sims, aren't they? I don't know what it's like for racing sims, but I don't know of another, you know, like computer game or anything like that where you spend so much time faffing about with settings, troubleshooting things, seeing weird kind of behaviours. Unbelievable. But I think certainly clearing the cache seems to have done something. I always find it quite frustrating when you haven't changed your settings or done anything different, and then you load in and suddenly the behaviour is different. Something isn't working quite right. It is very frustrating. Excuse me, I am knackered. What's the time? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in the morning here in the UK. Where is everyone in the world? Obviously, not asking you what town or city you're in, but people who are watching and in the chat, what country are you in right now? Who else is in UK or Europe and still up? Oh, to be young again. God, I remember when I was younger, I could have easily just said, right, do you know what? Oh man, I'm going to pull an all-nighter. And I could easily just do this for hours, but not tonight. Interesting little feature. Oh, that is, it's a campsite we're just going over. That's why you've got all those, they must be little stands for caravans. Ireland, of course, beautiful. Beautiful. Ireland has got such stunning scenery. Indiana, nice. Of course, it's a bit earlier for you, so that's quite good. Yeah, Northern, you're absolutely right. Sometimes I think MSFS pushes mini updates when loading in. I've found things literally changed noticeably between load-ins. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's kind of what I was saying before, how you can have no change with your settings at all, and you can load in and you get weird behaviour, and then it goes, and it's almost like, what was that all about? That MH60 does look good. I need to fly it some more. I know it's had some updates. I stopped flying it because the mission thing just wasn't anything like this. And I bought the MH60 purely to do kind of search and rescue stuff. And because the mission pack didn't allow you to do the sort of thing you can do in this, I kind of lost a bit of interest in it. But it is a lovely looking helicopter. Try and get my head down low enough. Can't get my head down low enough to see it. What's the torque setting? Okay, we're not in danger of doing anything too nasty. That is a lovely repaint. Okay, 9 minutes out from Lossie. They're getting the kettle on. Getting the kettle on, putting some toast on. I was very lucky when I was younger to live up here for a few years at Lossiemouth, and absolutely fell in love with the place. You either love it up here or you hate it. I remember there was a fighter pilot who had a bumper sticker that said, I think it was happiness is Lossiemouth in your rear view mirror. But I love the place, and I try and get up. I come here camping. Well, I go in camping in the mountains in the Cairngorm National Park almost every year, and I do try and get back to Lossie once in a while just to see the old place, see how it's doing. Peter, Manchester pulling an all-nighter. Well done, sir. Well done. I would love to say that I was going to do another few missions, but I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to yawn now, which is never a good thing on a stream, let's face it. Who wants to see someone yawning on a stream? But we are getting to that point. So Kinloss up ahead, you can just see the lights. I've got a feeling, I think I've got Nick B007's Kinloss in as well as his Lossiemouth. So we'll see when we come over it. Speed's good. Cool, stingy eyes. Martin. Biggin Hill. Oh, nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Yeah, Biggin Hill. Iconic. BPK, any chance of another IFR stream tomorrow? I would love to. I would love to, but unfortunately I can't tomorrow. I've got things on. But it's funny. Do you know what? As soon as I troubleshooted the problem with Dublin, I kind of wanted to do another one, and I almost did actually. I thought I'm going to fly from Dublin and you know, maybe fly onwards, because we did Farnborough to Dublin, and then I thought maybe going from Dublin to Glasgow or even Dublin to Inverness, but I thought no, I'll do some helicopter stuff. But yeah, it was good fun doing that. It was good fun flying with ATC. And definitely some skill set that I need to practice and spend some more time with. Okay, maybe I haven't got his Kinloss loaded in. I thought I did. But it's looking a little bit auto-genny to me. I'll have to check. Yeah, definitely not got it loaded in. That's a shame. When I was up here, the Nimrods were based here. Over at Kinloss. A little bit of stuttering going on here. Of course, I'm not using DLSS or anything like that. I'm using TAA, so that, mind you, I was going to say that might not be helping, but like I said, these are the same settings I usually use, so shouldn't be too bad. 3 minutes out to Lossie. We'll do an approach to runway 23, I think, and then we can hover taxi it over. So. And there we go, put it onto heading mode, and I'm just going to swing us round. See the big old hangar where the Poseidons are kept. A big white block. So I'm just swinging us over this way a bit, and then we can come around and do an approach to 2-3, and then we'll hover taxi over to our base. Always good practice doing a bit of low speed handling and hover taxiing kind of stuff. Thank you, Jacob. Oh, it did make me laugh. There's Cove Sea Lighthouse. So I don't know if you can see it, our base is that big green hangar. If you hear at the start you might recognise it, but that's where we're coming in. I wish BPK, I wish.
2 nautical miles from our base.
Okay, right, so let's check the wind. Wind hasn't changed. Cyclic trim release in and autopilot off. A little bit of stuff is going on there, so we'll come round the lighthouse. Going to get rid of the panel for the moment. Let's have landing light on. There's the big old golf course. There's the Poseidons.
$500.
Quick check, because I am on multiplayer, just make sure I'm not about to ruin someone's approach. There's no one there. Can of course do an ILS approach in this helicopter with its modern avionics and all that sort of thing, but we're just doing a nice little visual approach. There's the runway caravan. So we'll just keep it going down the runway. There's the old cable, the emergency cable. If we were flying in a Buccaneer and we suddenly wanted to stop. So I was just reading the do you know what, I don't know, Jacob, I don't know. I've not got force feedback. I know people have got the Moza force feedback stick and say it's excellent. So I don't know, I guess why not? Why not? One day I'm going to get a stick that I'm just going to use for helicopters, and that will either be force feedback or at least a springless one. There's fire section, and our base is just behind fire section. That big hangar over there, that's where the I don't know what it's used for now, but back then that's where 202 were based. go. There's our ground crew. And we're down. Okay, let's have tablet open. Engines to idle. Landing light
Mission
off.
accomplished.
Strobes off.
Well done.
Transfer pumps off. So LAVCS off. Can have the pitot heat off. Watch everything wind down. Let's get VMS up. Okay, let's have engine 2 off. Open the door. Get some fresh air. Oh, I love. How you doing? Avionics off. Let's have our battery off. DC reception off.
Landed. Crew deboard authorized.
Off. Off.
Hey, my perfect crew. Hi, guys.
Perfect crew, eh? Look at that.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Let's get the rotor brake on. Okay, and rotor brake off. Okay, so acknowledge that. Everything is good. Everything is fine. That's all good. And then we will... whoop. Battery switch to off. There we go. So we've got mission accomplished. I'm just waiting to see if it's going to come up with anything else. Sometimes comes up with other messages, things that we have to acknowledge.
How was the last mission? Was everything good with the helicopter?
It was.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry. We have some bad news for you. We exceeded the torque limits.
Oh.
It seems I have to work a lot on it.
I forgot it does
Don't
that.
worry, the helicopter is now in my precious hands. It will be ready to fly for the next mission.
So if you remember that
Thank
bit
you.
where we overtalked, the wind had caught it and we overtalked it, remembers, and that's kind of quite realistic. At the end, we would have to say to the crew, to the ground crew, look, really sorry, we did have an overtalk, and it would be something that they would have to look at. Okay, submit report. Okay, so there we are. Thank you to all the guys that flew along. Let's quickly, I'm going to jump out. Wrong one, there we go. And let's lock it off. And then I can catch up with the chat. Yes, Jacob, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it doesn't have the resistance like the. You don't have the springs in the stick. Guy Sergeant Grunt. I'm 66 and often on late. Happens when retired. Do you know what? I used to fly late when I was younger, but now. And certainly the room that I'm in here, my bedroom is right there, and usually my wife's away tonight, but usually when she's around, if I'm like talking now, as I am, and it's going straight through the wall and it drives her mad, so I'm quite often not on late, but when she's away I've got nothing better to do, and it's always good to It's always good to stream, and I love streaming, and I love chatting to you guys. It's what it's all about, really. It's good fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It was interesting with the stuttering thing earlier on, and obviously restarting and clearing the cache seems to have done it. It's just one of those things with the sim. It's been some nice weather. It was live. We have had a bit of strong winds, but the visibility was pretty good. And Rex Atmos just giving that kind of nice, kind of realistic thing to it. And of course, this is Nick B 007's Lossiemouth in all its glory. Really amazing piece of work, and it's free as well, which is just incredible. Really is. Anyway, there you go. Thank you to you guys who joined. I hope you had a good flight as well. I know it's not always the same because you can't see the mission assets, but you never know where you're going to end up with this mod, and that's part of the fun of it. You get to see some unexpected areas and conditions and all that kind of thing, and it gives one a purpose for flying, which is what it's all about. Anyway, enough of my incessant waffle. We have a Discord. You may have seen the Discord link popping up in the chat. Thanks to Streamlabs. So good bunch of people there, great bunch of people there. We've got a warbird section, a helicopter section, and a general aviation section, and a real mix of experience there. And yeah, just a great bunch of people. The Discord is only as good as the community. It's absolutely nothing to do with me, and I'm lucky that we've got a really good community there. So if you are on Discord and you want to join, come along and say hello. In the meantime, I will stop waffling. It's time to hit the sack. It's been wonderful having you along. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again on the channel soon. Take care now. Bye bye.